In this one, Lisa makes a beautiful salmon. First, we're gonna make a sauce for this fish. Let's get a squeeze of lemon in there. So a good squeeze of that in there. Then I'm just going to get the yolks. And we'll do a little bit of mustard. Now, what we're doing here is just creating an emulsion. This is basically like making a mayo. We're making a hollandaise.
So you put 2 egg yolks or?
I put 3 egg yolks in there. So I've got that, and then I have warm butter. Now, typically you do this in a bowl over like a pot of simmering water and you whisk it. I'm just skipping that and doing hot butter blender. Now, one thing you cannot forget is to like the video. And we're going to just take our hot butter, and just like we're making a mayo, I'm just drizzling in the fat.
Is it kind of cooking the yolk?
Exactly. So that's why you want to do this over simmering water, or just use hot butter in a blender. This is like the quick restaurant way of doing it. You can see how it's like starting to get ribbony in there.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And look, that's how we make a quick hollandaise. You could thicken it up by adding more butter, more fat, but I like this consistency. So what we do now is we just taste it. Good. And then I just usually take hot water and make like some sort of double broiler. That's how I keep it warm. If you do not do this, it will break and nobody will like you. It'll be very sad. So we want to make sure to do this. Okay, first things first. This is king wild caught salmon. It's really nice if you know your salmon butcher, because you can ask them to do things like pre-portion it for you. Like this is already a ready to go portion. It's already been deboned and everything. First step is always to dry the fish. So you always want to take paper towel, or you could do a linen like this, whatever, pat it dry. Like at work, I always had a linen on the table and I would just put my fish there and dry it to order.
And why do you want to dry it?
So if you don't dry it, it's gonna stick like a motherfucker. Okay, now the pan you use, you can use like one of these. You can use stainless steel, which is my favorite for searing fish. You can use carbon steel, which is another one of my favorites for searing fish. This is not my favorite. I don't use these non-sticks. Don't really use non-sticks. You can't really get good color with a non-stick on anything, really. I just use this for like eggs. That's it. Hell, even a cast iron skillet like this will work. It's at 430 and it's rising. We want this to be really, really hot. Now take a piece. What we're gonna do is oil all over it, both sides.
Is this already descaled?
Yes.
Okay.
These are ready to go. It's good if you know your butcher. And then we do salt all over it.
Just pat it in?
No, you don't have to. Just like sprinkle it all over both sides. And I do pepper. Some people are against it. They say it burns, but I don't give a f. I like pepper. Pepper is the way to go. And then we can just let that sit right there. That's our fish ready to go. Now give me a generous amount of oil in this pan.
Generous.
Generous.
Is that generous?
A little more. Perfect. Take the skin. You always want to do it away from you. Do it towards the filmer. I'll do this side, and then you can do that side.
Towards the filmer.
And just press it down. Now, if you can't do it, it's okay. Like, you use the back of your hand, and you just want to firmly press it. And you feel air bubbles? Yeah, so that's it crisping up. When you feel those, like, slow down and sort of stop, you're pretty much good. So that's, like, your feedback right there. Or if you have chef presses at home, you could just do that. Put a chef press on each one, and then, at this point, just pop it in the oven.
What is this at?
450. And then we're just gonna let that go for around 4 minutes or so. It really depends on how well done you want this fish. Now, this is gonna be our garnish for the fish, just some forbidden rice. Now this rice you can actually take from raw, fry it up, and it'll puff. So a paper towel as our landing pad. If you wanna do this with like white rice, like jasmine rice, you gotta cook it off fully, then dehydrate it, then you can puff it. This stuff you just buy and fry it off. All right, and I'll just season it with some salt. There we go, puffed rice for our fish garnish. Okay, pull her out. At this point, we have all this oil in here, right? You could do it in the trash can, but it'll melt, so I just threw it into the sink. I just drained off all the oil there. If we did this correctly, it shouldn't even stick to your pan.
Yeah.
And this is a stainless. Flip. Do a little butter in there.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit. Might add like some red, green, white peppercorn. Thyme. All right, ready for the splash, Michael? We're gonna do some lemon juice. Careful with that. And we're just basting our fish.
That's a good size spoon.
There you go. Our fish is ready. You can always check to see if it's done. Like this right here is a little mid-well for me. It's kind of like a steak when you feel it out. So now, pour our hollandaise all over our fishies. Try not to make a mess. Now, let's just garnish them with some puffed rice. You got yours on the right, left, mine on the right. Some chives. There's the fish put on a plate.
Steady hands, though.
There you go. Let's hold up our fishies.
Salmon.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like the crunch to it a lot.
Good fishy. We did it.
Thank you for showing me how to make this.
Yeah. Smash like, subscribe.